Speaking of violence, though,
Oh no, Michelle, don't do this. Michelle, don't do this.
I don't even know
You
where
chose
to
you
go with
chose violence with that segue. You chose violence with that segue. That was disgusting.
this. The segue is so bad. I don't know where you're going with this, and we've agreed the topics beforehand.
should we talk about everything to do with HBO?
Yeah,
Everything. Because
My
there's a
heart
lot
goes
of
out.
things that's going on to do with, I guess, a violent affair of deals, and then also just a violent human being
Yeah.
terrorizing the United States.
Okay, that, like, maybe the Ezra Miller stuff. I understand the segue. But I thought, at least this isn't going to be the HBO part.
Yeah, I don't know. It's obviously. Where else? Where else?
HBO sort of chose violence in this last
Yeah,
week.
they did. They really did.
Yeah, they said yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Alright. You've not heard any of the new Ezra Miller stuff, have you?
No.
None of it.
No.
So we got
Strap
some news
yourself
today.
in.
Yeah.
Last I heard, there was a bullet in a baby's mouth or something.
What?
Yeah.
Jeez, oh no, that's.
They
Yeah, 'cause-
were.
Oh.
I don't know.
They've been arrested in Vermont, I think, because of a felony
Yeah.
charge.
Yeah.
Which begs the question: how did they get to Vermont from Hawaii? But all right,
There's rumors that they were shooting. They were reshooting. Whilst
they
were
did
on the run.
reshoots.
Yeah. So
They
I think
did
were flown out.
reshoots.
I think they were flown out. 'Cause
And
they were that in trouble.
we found out today that there are 3 things for Warner Bros. Discovery to do. One of them,
3 options.
3 options. One of them is give them an interview to explain everything and let them do some press for the movie.
Let him Logan Paul it. Let him Logan Paul it. Do
2,
it.
don't let them do any press for the movie. Or 3, cancel it. So why is the first 2 exist? I'd just like to know that first of all. Like, right now, why are those 2 allowed? The third is pretty much the only one that seems to exist, that should exist. That I guess they spent a lot of money on Michael Keaton and Ben Affleck, but also they did that for Batgirl, so I don't know what happened.
Yeah.
I don't know where their money is anymore. They don't seem to care.
It was when I was watching like the SDCC, just like going on Twitter, and I was like, oh, I feel really, really bad for Warner Bros. Like, they're going through this big merger. They don't know where they're at the moment. Like, they're not able to show what they'd maybe like. They've got their 2 big films. They've got Amber Heard and bloody Ezra Miller. They can't talk about them. I feel sorry for them. That died within like a week, given what they've done to like half the
Everything.
creatives on their platform. Like,
Jesus.
the amount of stuff that was just gone overnight, and they didn't even. They just found out in the paper in the morning, or on Twitter. That's just.
Disgusting. It's because I didn't even know that Batgirl was a film until it was cancelled.
Yeah.
And the reason I'm so pissed off about it is because it is just there is a trans person in that film, and it's a female-led story, and they did not trust it to sell. That's it.
No.
That's the only reason. Because its audience test scores are that of like what Wonder Woman was and what like the Suicide Squad had last year.
And For Love and Thunder, which
Yeah,
was also a great film.
I'm sorry it wasn't me, Zach. I'm sorry it wasn't me.
But like it just frustrates me because their view of quality and what is not good cinema is not what they've ever put towards anything they've ever put out.
Yeah.
Ever. Aquaman is not that good, and yet somehow that one got released. Suicide Squad got released. Like, it had a good trailer and that was it. It's baffling to me that Batgirl is just not a viable film to release, even though
Isn't
it's
it?
testing really well without CG, and the CG's halfway done.
Yeah.
Isn't it being written off as a tax thing?
Yeah,
so
that's
they can get
exactly
the
why.
money back?
Yeah.
Probably,
And
but they don't get
that's-
all of it. They only
yeah.
get like 20%. That's not how you don't just write it off and you get all the money from it. They don't get anything
Yeah.
from it.
Yeah.
They
That's
still
to
just
me where it
paid
was
them
like,
off.
why would you ever want to work with Warner Bros? Like, why?
I wouldn't
That's
trust working with them ever again.
It's just
'Cause isn't it-
Yeah.
Isn't it by the people who directed Miss Marvel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they said like, oh, it was a wonder to have done this. Our cast were beautiful and incredible. and like that, they have nothing but praise for everything that they did and every single part of that film, and like they have a clear vision for what they wanted to do, and they said maybe one day we'll get to do it.
Yeah.
I think it'll be similar with Deadpool. Like, a scene will leak from someone inside. It might even be the Michael Keaton scene. It'll be something, and then there'll be so much public thing that they're kind of like,
I don't know,
maybe
though.
we do release this.
I don't
I reckon
know,
it.
though.
I reckon it comes out eventually. They'll bring it out, and then everyone will forget.
It'll do this. This
if
is
the
why it feels
Snyder
like the
Cut
Snyder.
release-
This is
Yeah.
what I feel like. This is my Snyder cut. I don't know why, because I probably won't even watch it if it releases, because like I don't care about Batman. I just don't. But that is like, it's just insane to me that a film that is testing well, that will make them money, even if they don't like it. It's like Michael Keaton is in it. People will watch it just for Michael Keaton.
I would have.
Did you see what I can't remember if it was the Warner Bros. CEO or the Discovery one or someone. It was someone high up in one or both of the companies or something said about like all the cancellations and things at the minute, that it's not about the quantity of content, but about the quality. So they're wanting to make sure each thing they put out is good. And it's like, I understand that sentiment.
Yeah.
But when you've had so many artists create something that's nearly done, you clearly had faith in it up until a certain point.
And if it
And I
is
think,
about quality, Suicide Squad released in 2016. The bad film. One of the worst superhero films I've ever watched. Until I watched Thor: Love and Thunder.
How dare you besmirch Suicide Squad?
Suicide Squad is good.
I'll play devil's advocate, because even if I like agreed with the decision, like if this has got to happen, if we've got to write off this film, the way they've gone about it is just complete brand damage. Like, everyone in the industry is looking at this and thinking, like, the filmmakers, the executives, like, just the stars are like, I will not touch this again, because it's like, it's not a dedication to it's not about the art. Like, I get if this needed to happen, but there was a way to do this quietly, there was a way to do this respectfully, and they just didn't care. And I don't understand why someone in that room didn't think, this might look very, very bad. They are paid a lot of money to think about what people are going to think. No one in that room was either able to speak or just say, this is why Christopher Nolan walked away.
Even then, like, it's like the fact that they said, we want to produce things that are cinema worthy, that are going to be watched. And it's like, at what point in all of the stuff that they did and the audience scores that you got back told you that was not cinema worthy? Because you have films like The Joker that got Oscars that had around that same audience score without their CG.
Yeah, which you didn't need to be in a theatre to see.
Yeah.
And didn't the actors find out when the public found out?
Yeah.
Because they just said it in a shareholders meeting that everyone could see.
Yeah.
That's it. Like, that is just insane.
You would have think that's been the last 2 years of their life.
Exactly.
Like, to just then, the heartbreaking moment of having that happen, you'd then hope that it would have some humility behind it.
Yeah.
It's just disgusting. Like, none of it, to me, ever makes any sense at all. Even if that film flopped, you spent this much money and it's almost done, and it releases in 3 months. Just release it. It's Michael Keaton's reintroduction into DC, and we're getting the Flash film somehow, and it's also going to be his reintroduction to DC. It is setting up the biggest thing that DC have ever done.
Yeah.
And now you're still planning to release Flash even though the main character is a fucking felon. And you're still not going to release Batgirl because you don't have faith in the female-led story with a trans character in it.
Yeah.
It's it. That's literally all it is. It's just frustrating to me. Because even this is the studio that released the first female-led superhero film. Like the first main cinema fucking screen one. Like, we saw Wonder Woman and how well that did, and how it's not even the best
This is
film we ever
Catwoman
watched.
and Elektra.
Yeah, Halle Berry's
Eraser.
Catwoman. Halle
Even
Berry's
then-
Catwoman, cinematic masterpiece
Even
directed by a
then-
French genius.
Even then,
His name was Petov, and he mattered.
even then.
Let's
it
also not forget
definitely
Elektra.
was-
You can't forget Elektra. There's a cool
You-
dude with tattoos in that
got
film.
to admit that Wonder Woman is the one that like led it out. It's the reason we got Captain Marvel, because people saw that and was like, oh, it's the reason like Black Panther is so influential, because it's like this
Guys,
black
women
story.
exist.
I don't believe you.
They're real now.
Can you
And
cite your
still.
sources, please?
No.
But even
Wonder
still,
Woman proved it to me. Wonder Woman proved it to me.
even
They
still,
exist.
that's just they just don't have faith in more female-led
No.
stories,
Yeah.
female-led superhero stories. Just don't get it. Not allowed them.
I think there's a degree of like, I don't understand. I get why like people are being ruthless, because this is a very, very expensive business and you've got to be ruthless to a degree, but I think there's just, Netflix are doing the exact same thing in regards to how just like it's gone after a season, or like animation's gone overnight, you can kiss those projects goodbye. It's just, after a while, it's brand damage. I don't understand why, like, if you're going to do it, like, put it somewhere else, like, put it elsewhere, or like,
Yeah.
if it has to go on HBO Max, then stick it there, or like, if it's going to be a tax cut, why do this instead of like not some other small documentary thing we've got coming off? You could like put things in alphabet elsewhere.
I honest to God would have got it if it went to HBO Max. Fine.
Yeah.
I get that sometimes you make those decisions and that happens. But it's
And that's not even going to be a thing anymore.
not
like,
a
that's,
thing. Yeah.
That's like the number 2 at the moment, other than maybe Disney. Well, the number 3, just because. Like, I don't understand why that's going. Like, that doesn't have to go, but.
They're just killing everything. I don't know. It's just clearly a company self-imploding on itself. Do you see that they renamed Pennyworth to Pennyworth, a Batman Butler story? Which is like...
the origins
the
of
origin of
Batman's Butler.
It's like, it's 3 seasons deep, mate. I think people got that.
How that ever got past one series, I have no idea.
There was someone who I was speaking to that I will